Hey guys,
Hey,
welcome to our podcast, Gamers That Yap.
where we game and then we decide to yap about it when we're done.
I'm Ariana.
And I'm Brittany.
Since it's the first episode, we should give a little insight to ourselves.
Real. Uh
Well, I'll go first, I guess. Oh, okay.
oh no, you go. You go.
Okay. So, as I said, I'm Ariana. I use any pronouns. Uh, I started gaming, I guess like my real gaming was like on those Nick Jr. sites when I was like, I don't know how old. And I'd be sitting at the computer desk all hours of the morning playing that one Wow Wow Wubsy game. But I don't think I really started getting into like I don't want to say real games, but like I wasn't really into like video games and like console games until I remember I was 6 years old, and for my birthday, my brother actually bought me Pokemon Heart Gold, and I kind of I like had this feeling he bought it for himself because I had nothing to do with like Nintendo or like I had a DS, but like I didn't play like Pokemon or anything like that. But I ended up playing it, and I ended up like really liking it. And then from then on, like I was all about Pokemon. I was really into RPGs. I still am, and yeah.
That's real. That's real. For me, I kind of feel like when for me it was a little bit similar. I played like a lot of like flash games online and things like that. Like any type of like website that was just having something where you could like play a game on it. I was always on there, honestly. Then my first like entry into like console games was like more so like the Nintendo DS. To be honest, like by the time that I was kind of like old enough to like play games, well, yeah, around the time I was like old enough to play games, I my family basically already sold like every single console that we had because like my brothers had like a significant age gap with me a little bit, so they didn't think that like I would be playing games. But then I saw like the pink Nintendo DS Lite, and I was like, oh my god, like it's pink, so I that's definitely that's definitely for girls.
Yeah.
So then I begged my mom to get one for me, and she's like, okay, I guess. And I started like playing that a lot, and then I also played a lot of like the edumacation games, like Leapfrog and junk like that. So I kind of feel like I had all those things with me at that time. And I don't even remember what was like my first Nintendo DS game. I feel like I was like in the realm of like Cooking Mama and junk like that around that time. I don't know
That's
exactly.
real.
Yeah. And then mental illness hit. I started getting into RPGs and junk like that, but that's a story for another day.
So true. Well, as you guys could probably tell, this podcast is kind of just about, like games that we've played, and we're just going to talk about them, what we liked about them, maybe what we didn't like about them, the mechanics, the story, all that good stuff. And for this episode, we're going to focus on Otome games. What is an
Real.
Otome game, Brittany?
Okay, I didn't know I was in school. Basically, Otome games, they are visual novels that are more so directed towards a female audience, and they are basically like the heroine or heroine what the heck? Okay. Um the heroine and whatever male love interest is in there, and then you pick one, and then the way that any dating sim kind of goes. So
Real. Back in my day, I actually don't remember. Hmm. No, I do remember my first Otome game. Um from the Shall We Date. It was the Shall We Yes, it was the Shall We Date series was my very first one. I don't remember exactly how I got into it. But I mean, I really like the genre just because, you know, when I first started picking it up, like this was like in my romance anime shoujo era. And so I was like, what do you mean that I can be the protagonist of the shoujo anime that I'm watching? Um so when I found out about them, it kind of just like turned into an obsession almost. Like that's all I would play. I remember because I didn't have a phone back then. Like, you know, nowadays 6-year-olds are getting phone. I didn't have that, but I had an iPad, and so I would just like download like 20 of them on there, and I would just play it like all the time.
It's real, honestly. Um, what was my first one? To be honest, my first like Ultimate games, they were like the things on Flash and junk like that, because I was looking into like deep in my memory, and I'm pretty sure my entry had to be like the Practices Flash games. So
The OG.
yeah, like I think that was like the indoctrination right there. Um I I believe the first one I did was Idle Days, honestly, because I found it. I'm like, oh my gosh, a game where like you could like get a boyfriend and stuff. Wow, I love that. So then I went into the game, and then I see like, oh, you're in a band and stuff like that. Let me do that. And it's those were like pretty cool. They really followed like the super early Ultimate games where like you do junks, like you go do your job and then you get items and then you bring the items and stuff like that. Um
Yeah, it like really followed like that like kind of maybe stereotypical isn't the right word, but a lot of like the older ones back in the day, they really had like they didn't have like these crazy mechanics like these like newer ones might have. It was just kind of like you like clicked a button, you like got like stamina or something to like go talk to your man. And when you would go on dates and whatever, you had to like bring a little present to like get affinity points up and stuff like that.
yeah, exactly.
So it was like a really like it was like a simple kind of mechanic because like a lot of these games like you know like they're mostly focused on like the story and like forming your relationship with like whatever your love interest is.
Real, honestly. Cuz also like I feel like that was also like super intentional for like specifically like the practices games and things like that. So I like the super early ones like I completely forgot what was like the pioneer of the genre, like when it that kind of made it pop off where everyone's like, "Dang, like we need to start making these little dating games too and see what we can do here." Like I forgot what it was called, but it was like dang, make about like 60 more of these like
No, I don't really remember either. Maybe, I mean, this is just a guess, but my guess would be that like part of it would have to do kind of like with the similarities to like kind of like shoujo anime because like I mean like that's how I got into it personally because like you had like all these like romance shows and then people want to self-insert. I mean like that's what fanfiction.net was for. And so like you know like you have people who like wanted to like be a part of that. So probably I would guess you know obviously this is not like fact or anything, but if I had to take like an educated guess about it, it would probably be like with like the popularity of like shoujo rising. Um these types of games would also rise as well. Also, I don't even know if we said this explicitly when we're talking about practices, but y'all need to like know about practices, bro. This was like one person who was like making like 20 different uh dating sims and they like wasn't it like one person who was like they did like the art, they did the story, they did everything, didn't they?
yeah, they did like every single thing by themselves and stuff like that. And I saw, cause I actually, like what, like last year or so, I actually found like their portfolio, and I was looking through, like, dang, they were making them like, what, like 2009, 2010, 8, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, like like I think I was barely conscious when they were making those games, like.
No, because literally, I have like a vivid memory for like the practices games when I first discovered them, and I found like this person had like because at the time, it was one of their newer ones that I played for, or like not newer ones because I don't remember exactly the year I played it, but It was one of their most recent ones. It was called Number Days, and basically the premises of that was like you kind of like got stuck in this amusement park with like a bunch of other people, and you kind of had to like spend time like bonding with them, and then you got to like choose like who, obviously, like in all of them, like your love interest and who you decided to romance for like those days that you were like stuck in the amusement park.
Oh,
And that was my first one of them that I played, and it was just like, I don't know, like I thought it was crazy. I was like, there's no way, like, whoa, this is so cool.
yeah, because the thing is, it's like that was one of the that was actually one of my favorite ones I remember when I was playing it. Cause like,
Mm,
yeah, like Idle Days was like my first one, but I was like, dang, let me play more like games like that. So I as soon as I learned the name, the words dating sim in that order, I was like typing it on like Google and junk. Like and then I
I do remember that actually. I typed dating sim in on a Flash website, and then Number Days popped up, and I was like, dang, that was really good. And then I saw other ones made by the same person, and I would be at like the family computer desk like all hours of the morning, just like playing these games, bro. Like it was crazy.
Glee, because literally like as soon as I learned like those words in that order, I'm like dang. So then I also did like that little amusement park one, bro. Like to me that was cinema. Like I was like dang, like this is. And then looking for like the secret route of like that one guy, I completely forgot his name, but I know that he had orange hair and he was
I think
like,
you're talking about that wasn't Number Days. That was which one was that one? I think that was Idle Days because you had to find his wallet in the bush.
no, no, wait. So the no, no, because not that guy. Because like in the amusement park, there was like a secret route, kind of where like one guy, he well maybe it wasn't secret. Maybe it was like out in the open. But like
No, it was
he
not.
had a.
I think you're talking about Arlo, bro. He had red hair.
How do you remember his name? Like I still.
Because I would play, because I would play that game for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love that game so much.
Even remember his name because I like in my head I only remember like faces and like but I
I
can't.
remember his name specifically, bro, because I really liked his route.
Yeah, cause like he had like a crazy rap. I remember there was like a big like little plot twist and stuff. I was sitting there like, oh my god, like I didn't know. I'm like, this got to be the best one because like that was crazy. Like,
No, yeah,
but
that one was really good. And I remember I really liked I forgot no, it wasn't Chrono. I liked Chrono Days too, but that's not the one I'm thinking about. It might have been Lunar Days. There was this one route where this dude, he was like the detective or like the sheriff or whatever of like the town, and he was kind of like, oh, like I don't remember the specifics of this, guys. This was like back in like 2011 or something, and he was like trying to like chase this like criminal in the town who like hid away, who was another love interest, obviously. And he was like this cat boy, which I didn't know why he was a cat boy, but he was. And it turns out the cat boy was kind of innocent. It turns out he was the bad guy all along. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But then in the route, we kind of eloped and then we had a child together. So it didn't matter.
think I remember that one too. One that also stood out to me a lot was they had like a game called Kingdom Days, right?
Yes, I think that was my very first one, actually.
Yeah, cause like there was like a vampire in it. That was my man. So that's my man for
No,
real.
I was so excited to find out there was a vampire in that game too. I was like, "Oh my God." And I would like Google how to like unlock him because I didn't know how to unlock him. And I saw him on the cover, so I was like, "Why
I
can't I
put
get
in
him?"
cheats. Like I put in cheats to do the to do because they had like cheat codes and stuff. Like you could look it up and then you type in the code and then it would be like give you like a whole bunch of energy and junk like that. Started doing that for real. Like I'm like, don't mess with me and my man. Like I need we need to be together.
And honestly, that was the first instance for me where I saw that there was like female love interest, because in the very earlier ones it was all like male love interest, but when you get to like more like recent ones that this person had. I forgot their name. We should plug in their name. But when you get to like the more recent ones that person had made, they were like the one token female love interest, and I thought that was really cool because I was just like, whoa, there can be uh women falling in love with other women in this game.
My
I didn't know
gosh,
that.
this is crazy. They don't still use the name Pactuses anymore. Cause like I follow them actually on like Twitter, and no, they still use the name Pactuses. Okay. Cause like right now, I know I don't think they really make visual novels anymore, but they have like a webtoon. And it's really
Oh,
cute.
that's it.
Yeah, it's really cute.
That's it.
I think it's like what is it called actually? Because I wanna let me plug in the name of that because I feel like we got to. It's okay. It's called Violet Goes to the Beach. Like
Oh,
definitely.
I have seen stuff like about that actually.
Oh yeah, it's so cute. I I remember reading a bit of it. I need to catch up on it actually, but like it's like they really did like sit there and they raised me. They raised me for real.
No, yeah, like practices, you have my heart, bro. Like
Yeah.
that was, I was up. I sacrificed sleep for your games, man.
When
Like it was that serious.
when I graduated, like I don't know what grade I was in, like fifth grade. You was there. You probably don't remember,
No,
but you
for
were there.
real.
You were there.
Well,
Like
as much as I did love the Pactuses games, my first exposure to dating sims really was the Shall We Date series by what's that company called? NTT Solmare, I think it is. They actually, probably more known, they made Obey Me. To this day, I actually still have not played Obey Me. Like, I don't know what it was about it. I just like didn't want to play it. So sorry about that. I will not be talking about Obey Me in this one, but I will be talking about their old games because they had me in a chokehold. I specifically remember playing they had two ninja ones. I think this one was specifically called Destiny Ninja. That was my first game. And I remember it specifically because there was like this red-haired dude. And one thing you're gonna learn about me throughout this podcast is I have a thing for red-haired anime boys. I don't know why. I'm just always like attracted towards them.
it's a problem,
Um
honestly.
it is. I don't know. It just happens. I don't want it to be that way, but it does. But I went for that guy first. I remember his name specifically. His name was Enya. Um, and yeah, from the thing about those games too is like for their version of like microtransactions was because the way the mechanics worked is basically like you had to wait every 4 hours for them to like replenish like a story charge basically. So like you could only read one chapter every 4 hours, and like it would like you couldn't like let it rack up or anything because like it had like a limit to how much you could rack up. So it would be like five was like the max. And so that's how they would get you because like you would be like, oh dang, like I want to read more chapters right now. Let me just buy this real quick. But you know, I was like 10 years old, so I couldn't buy it. So I would just sit there
Oh,
and suffer.
that's real
And
though.
but the thing is that they had like 20 different games. A lot of them aren't even in the App Store anymore, but I would have them going in rotation. So I would finish like reading Destiny Ninja. I would move on to whatever the next one was, Magic Sword, Wizardess Heart. Like I would go like I would download all of them and I would just keep them in rotation. So I would just like spend all day like reading the stories. But that series was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I liked some of them more than others, obviously. And you could tell that they like sometimes they would focus on because they had like a bunch of different apps out. So they would focus on some of them more than the others. And they also held like events and all of that other stuff too, which was really fun. But yeah, I had them all downloaded on my iPad. It was in a folder called Dating Sims.
It's real, honestly. Cause like I was also playing like the dating sims by that company and things like that. But the thing is, I barely remember anything. I also played the Destiny Ninja, but like my first love interest The thing is, I know I did like both of the routes. There was like this one guy, his name is Goyo, I believe, and then there was another guy I also romanced, but I don't remember his name. He was like he had like short hair. He kind of looked serious. I don't know uh anything else about him, but what was
I
my
feel like you're talking about the other ninja one. Because there's Destiny Ninja, and then they had like another ninja one, and I forgot what that one was called specifically. I played both, but I like Destiny Ninja more.
really? Because like why do they blend together inside my brain, man? Like I don't know.
No, like I remember specific like there was like a zombie one that they had. Oh my god, they had one and it was called Magic Sword. And there was at least I don't know if they ever updated this game, but there was only three like love interests. It was like a mage guy, it was a knight, and it was an elf. And that was my first experience ever seeing explicit content in a dating sim because and like like you have like suggestive stuff like because like in that in their series like they've had suggestive stuff before like like a like maybe a grope or two like per se um in like their games, but I specifically remember getting an ending on one of them, and there was like some AO3 wording up in there. Like that was my first exposure to that ever. Like I was scared. I was like 12 years old and I was like, this feels wrong. Like I can't read
AO3 wording, that is crazy to me. Um,
this.
I was different from you because I definitely saw that, but it was with the Ninja Love one. I think that's what it's called. They
Mhm.
all mixed together in my brain. But I know because like when I was playing that one, I noticed like they had like extra stories behind a paywall, and I was like, "Oh my god, like you're telling me that like they're like together in these and I can't read it." So then little old me as a child, I don't know how old I was, like what, 13? I don't know. 12? I don't know. But little old me was like, let me look this up on YouTube because I never paid for an app, and also um uh like I don't ask my parents for to pay for stuff on apps because I felt like why would they do that? But so
I know Caribbean parents too. They would probably be like, "Get out of my face."
exactly, like I felt like there was no point in me asking. So so like I feel like they would look at me and be like, what are you talking about? Like, you want me to go pay for that? Like, why you do that when you be playing games for free? Like, but but I went on YouTube and I typed it, and then I typed in like the love interest that I cared about, and then I was watching like the little storyline of like it was also a red haired dude in that game. Like, what was his name? Uh, well, um, he had red hair. That's all I know. But he was kind of a freak, like high key. But what happened is like when I found it, it was a story of like they're together, and then I think they're like married, and then it happened like after the event of like the main storyline. And what happened is like the MC, she was like, "Oh my god, like." I gotta be pregnant, like wow. And then he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to be a father." And then there they're like all like, "Oh my gosh, like this is great." So then they're like doing like little like domestic stuff, and then, like they're getting ready to like have a baby and stuff like that. And then I don't know what happened or something, like maybe like she got hurt or whatever. And then she's like, "Oh my gosh, my baby." And then they went they went to the doctor. and
I'm sorry.
they they went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Who told you you were pregnant? Like you're just fat right now because you be eating." Like,
I'm crying. I'm crying.
so then she was like, "Oh my god, like I wanted my baby." And then they were going home, and then she was all depressed or whatever. And I was like, "Wow, what a nice story." But then the red haired dude was like, "Dang, okay, well, you're gonna have that baby for real now." And then I was like, "Oh my god, like what?" Like, that was like my first time seeing like anything not safe for work in like a story. So that I was sitting here like, oh my god, like what's happening?
No, I was literally like when I first like saw that, I was well not that one because I didn't see that one, but when I saw that in Magic Sword, I was like, I didn't know they were allowed to write this. Like, what is
No,
going
for
on right
real.
now?
Like to me, that was like illegal. On top of that, like for me, I literally grew up in like private school and things like that. Like literally, I was only in public school for like what, like 3 years, but I was like full on private school mentality, like chapel on Wednesdays, all that type of mess. So me seeing this mess, I thought that I was going to hell.
Bro, you
Like
had to like take out your Bible, bro. You had to cleanse yourself.
nah, but then I looked up another one, so
That's crazy. You were repenting after it.
like I was like so curious. I looked up another one. I was
Bro,
looking
but
at their
speaking
routes.
no, but like speaking of like freaky male love, can we just talk about how like so much of them back then though? Like why did they like borderline assault the MC, bro? Because I would be reading some of this and I would be like, he slams you against the wall and he starts making out with you. And I'm like, bro, like you don't even know my name yet. Like why are you doing this to me right now?
I always wondered, to be honest. Like I feel like I just excused it because I was literally a child. I didn't know any better.
Me
But like I was
too.
still like, this is odd. Why are you throwing me against the wall? Like I don't want to do
Did
this right.
I do something? Like why are you
Like,
mad at me?
and the MC can be like, no, thank you. And they're like, well, you don't have a say. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't think this is right. Like, like,
No,
oh
I mean, like, we also saw that in like shoujo manga too, though.
yeah,
And
that's
I
true.
mean, like, there has been thankfully like a progression from then. But like back in the day, bro, they were just doing anything like to the protagonist. I was like, yo, and okay, before I talk about Diabolic Lovers specifically, there was actually a Shall We Date game. It was Blood and Roses. It was about vampires, and I was really excited because I was like, oh my god, vampires. Both of them. Sorry for any fans out there. I thought both of them were butt ugly, like the first two, the first two brothers, bro. I was not a fan, but I was like, I'm gonna do it anyways because this could be interesting. It was straight Diabolic Lovers, bro. Like they were
Shots
just like
fired.
no, like they were just throwing me against the wall, or like they were throwing the MC against the wall and like trying to suck her blood and being like, oh my god, like dinner. And I was just like, bro, like, can y'all like give me some space?
Oh, remember playing that
But
one,
yeah,
but I didn't stay long. Like, I did not finish
I
that one.
didn't either. I had to delete it because I was like, I can't do this. Because also, like, I couldn't even excuse it that much because I didn't find them attractive. So, so I was like, please get out of my face.
Like, I just imagine Kid was like, you're ugly. Like, like,
It's like, why are you doing this to me? You're ugly. Meanwhile, Enya from Destiny Ninja does it, and I'm just like, wow, I love my boyfriend.
crazy. But like, but also funny thing you mentioned diabolic lovers and things like that.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, say what you want to say, and I'll tell you. I'll add a little bit things about my experience with that.
Diabolic Lovers ruined my life, bro. You know how I found out about Diabolic Lovers?
How did you find out?
So, I used to download like those stupid like anime quiz apps when I was bored, the anime trivia apps. I was playing one day and it's like guess the character or no, it was like they showed you characters and then you had to guess what anime it was from. And I was looking through and I was like, wow, some of these guys are really cute. Where's this from? And it was like Diabolic Lovers. And I was like, wow, what is this about? And it was just like vampire boys. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like my speed. And so I watched the first episode. Bro, I could not. I started skipping ahead. I was like, does it get better? It did not get better. Like, it
God,
was awful. It was the worst experience of my life.
my gosh. Um, for me, I had a very different way of finding it out. Here's the thing. I knew about Diabolic Lovers, I think, before the anime was even a thing. Because also when I was very young, I had a phase where I would look up like unlocalized like dating sims and stuff like that, and then I would go on like WordPress blogs and I would read like the translations of like entire routes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how I even got to that point, but like I just was doing that. Like I would like look at the characters and I'd click on the route and I would read like the whole thing, like the choices and stuff, and then what the dialogue happens and like all the little explaining what's going on type of thing. And like that was like my little romance novels basically. And Diabolic Lovers was part of the group of Otome games that I would read. Now, I found it and I was like, "Oh, vampires and stuff and the art looks pretty and then the boys look cute." Um I felt like I was in hell. Um like I don't even remember how old I was, but like I was looking at it and I would every route I would go in, I don't know what was happening. I did not find any enjoyment. I didn't think that anything was cute. And there was this one dude I remember specifically, um, every day I see his face and it's scary. It's and 'cause I remember like the
Talking about? Which one are you talking about? Wait.
there was this one guy, he would like call her names all the time. Like uh
I feel like that was like all of them. They were all scary.
No, no, but there was one specifically, he had, like, a nickname for her, like, he would call her, like, a nickname, what was it? He had, like, red hair, he wore a hat or something. What
Oh, I hate that one. I know who you're. I don't know his name, but I hated that one so bad.
saw his route and I read it on that WordPress page, bro, that was like crazy. Like he was doing crazy stuff, pushing her in a pool. He was like hitting her, doing all this crazy stuff. He hated her. There was even this one point where she's like, "Well, I'm gonna leave now. I'm so scared and sad." And then he like pushes her into his coffin, and then he's also in there. That literally sounded like the type of punishment you get when you're like in hell. I was like, what's happening here? So then,
Bro,
like,
not her in purgatory. Like,
yeah. So then, like, it was like the worst thing. And I'm like, when does it get happy? Like, does he get better? Like, what?
does he get better as crazy? I remember that, like, in like when I really, really tried to watch that anime, and so I'm watching it, and there was this one guy I was trying to cling on to because I was
I
like,
know
I
exactly who you're
forgot
talking about.
which. No, yeah, because he didn't like for like the first like while he didn't do anything, right? And
Hmm.
so he was just like, so he was just chilling, and he was just like, I mean, he was kind of like still being like a bystander, not doing anything, because he was just like watch his brothers like basically assault her, and he was just like, oh well, they do that. And then
What?
I was like, okay, so he's not gonna do anything, right? So he's gonna be nice to her, right? And then all of a sudden he's just started doing stuff, and he was just like, I actually hate you too. Like, bro, what?
AC. Because
Like,
also
oh my
that's what he
god.
was like too in the visual novel, because in the other routes, he's like, "Stay away from her," and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like he's so nice, actually. Finally, like a man that I can get behind here. And then I decided to click on his route. He's crazy, just like all of them. So I was like, why did y'all lie? Like he's a deceiver. Like what? Why did y'all lie to me? But dang, but I, I oh god, I even remember the art and stuff like that, like the CGs and stuff like that.
Oh my
I gotta
god.
talk to my therapist about this again. But yeah,
I
I
think
was.
the
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I think like the adaptations though are like very interesting though, because like it's like how do you like go about it? I like if it was me, like if I was in the writer's room and I'm trying to adapt like this visual novel because it's like I guess most of them they have their like quote unquote like canon route or like the canon love interest, but it's like I don't know, like, cause like like with Clanad, cause Clanad was dating sim too. The first season, very visual, not you could see the harem in that
Oh,
one.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but then eventually they go to After Story, and it just follows Nagisa. He's not even batting an eye at the other girls there.
Well, question
Um,
actually.
so, so
Technically,
like that's interesting, but like then when you look at Diabolic Lovers, I mean, I guess it didn't get renewed or anything, but it's just like she was just getting tossed around. Like she didn't go to anyone specifically.
mm-hmm. Because like I never actually watched the anime because like I'm like I already know where this train is crashing, so I don't need to watch it. So, but it's definitely interesting how they go about that. Um, I I always wanted to try the Clan visual novels, even though technically they're not Otome games because it's like a male protag, but like
Hmm.
I kind of always wanted to try them and stuff like that because um people be like, yeah, like this is it, this is like the oldie that you need to do if you care about the genre to a degree, you care about the medium or whatever. But I've went this long without playing it, so
You
but
know what I actually found out that like shocked me to my core is that The Remarried Empress was a visual novel.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a dating sim. It was because the love interest was her whack ass husband, before she divorced him. It was the dude that I mean, like in the story, right in the webtoon, I should say, that she's with right now. He was a love interest, but then it was also the other guy with white hair, he was also a love interest because like they had like a small thing going on in
Yeah,
the webtoon adaptation right now, but apparently it was a dating sim too, and I did not know that. So I it's just really interesting how they choose to adapt it, like whether they go like full like harem route or like if they're just like nah, like we're gonna make like her end up with somebody actually.
like interesting about how like when you watch like adaptations for stuff you don't realize that like yeah, they came from like a video game and also that video game is a dating sim, so like haha.
Hmm.
Like I did not know that like that one anime series that's popular, like Fate Grand Order is the mobile game
Yeah,
that started off as like wasn't it like a hentai dating sim in the beginning, I'm pretty sure.
I I did not know anything about that.
Yeah. It started off as one like one of the major characters, it was like the little gender bent version of like King Arthur and stuff like that, and she was like a love interest in like the game. And then some other chick, I think she was just a normal person who was like living in Tokyo or whatever, she was a love interest, and I don't know what was going on in there because I didn't look too deep in there. But it was definitely like a little dating sim, but like the spicy kind, I guess. And I don't know when did the creator decide like we got to turn this into something else. Like I don't know what possessed him. What gave him the idea? Did he think that his idea was like too cool to stay just the dating sim? Like I don't know. Like
I mean, shoot, like I don't even know.
like nah.
I did not know that though.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like a lot of
interesting.
people don't like
Like literally though.
yeah, because
Um,
I feel like it's so popular, with their gotcha game and all that. So
mm, but I mean, like, if we're gonna talk about Otome games, we gotta talk about Mystic Messenger, bro. We just
dang,
gotta talk about. I
like
mean, when did Mystic Messenger even come out again? When was that?
no,
How old?
2014, 2015.
Nah, it cannot be that long ago.
Let me see.
When did that come out?
Let's see. Mystic Messenger release date. No, it's 2016.
20 what?
2016.
That's crazy.
Are we
How,
sure?
where? No, right. Like, where was I?
Like
I was like, I was 14. I guess that kind of makes sense because I actually bonded with one of my friends over Mystic Messenger because I had 707 as my lock screen because I had no shame. And she was just like, "Oh my god, 707." And then we just started talking about Mystic Messenger and that's how we became friends.
I was 16 years old when I was playing Mystic Messenger because I pretty sure we were both playing it the year that it came out.
No, we
So
played it. I remember specifically we played it release date because I remember that I got really upset because it was buggy on Android. And so
yes,
Android users couldn't play it for a bit when it first
yeah,
released. And I was desperate, bro. Like I really wanted to play because
I
you had been
remember.
following the development and
Hmm.
you were like, "Oh, we got to play this when it comes out." And I was sitting there like in jail because I couldn't even get it to work.
Yeah, I remember I was following the development of the game at the time. And then, I was out here playing it. You're like that SpongeBob image where Squidward is like inside the park and SpongeBob play outside. I also remember we did get a ton of like apology rewards as well around that time.
Yeah, they were giving
Mhm.
hourglasses out like they were candy, bro. And in fact, they gave out so many hourglasses that for me specifically, I was like, you know what? F all these common routes. I want to do 707 because I think he's funny. And so I unlocked his route and he's like the canon love interest, by the
Yeah.
way, for people who somehow are listening to this and never played it. But so I unlocked his story and like once you unlock his story, bro, like his was just so much more fleshed out than everyone else's because he was the canon route that it's just like what's even the point of playing the other ones at this point. um so I was just obsessed with that man for like a good portion of my teenage years.
Yeah, you were, honestly. Like, that man, he was everywhere. You got the honey butter chips. You were
I
doing
literally hunted down honey butter chips just because
Mhm.
of that game. Like y'all don't understand. Like if y'all were in the Mystic Messenger era of Otome games, like the thing about how this game would play is basically the premises of it is that you the MC like downloads this app or no, she picked up a random phone, didn't she? Was it that she picked up a phone or that she downloaded an app? It was
She
one of
downloaded an
those.
app. She downloaded an app, right? I don't know,
I
man.
think so because it like popped up for her. She downloaded some app and it was a special app that's not supposed to be like on like any app store, like anything like that in that world. And it was like a specialized chat for like this charity or organization. And so she gets in there and she's just like, "Oh my god, hey y'all." And then they're like, "Oh my god, who is this lady?" And they're trying to figure out like why she had access to the app and whatever. And so you're on your phone basically talking to these people you never met in real life. You barely even know any of them. And the thing about it is that the chat rooms would like correspond like they had the chat rooms were like chapters basically and like your standard Otome game and they would like correspond with the time in real life. So 9 o'clock hits, new chat room opens. You only have like until the next chat room opens to complete that chapter or the chat room. And mind you, there was pretty much a new chat room every like 2 hours or so. So if you missed it, bro, that was it. And like you had to like spend hour like you can like look at it if you wanted to and just not be a participant in the chat. But it would also like get your affection points down and it could lead to a bad ending, like if you missed enough chat rooms. And you had to like spend like the in-game currency which was hourglasses to like be able to do it back. So me personally, I was not missing a chat room when this game came out. I would set alarms on my phone just to participate in like the chat rooms. And mind you, it was going on all hours of the night too. Like 1 a.m. a chat room would open. I had an alarm for 1 a.m. I was ready. I would be losing sleep just to talk to these people in my phone, bro. Like I was so serious about this game.
Because you were insane. Like, also, like, to be honest, I was insane too because I also did not miss a chat chat room. And the thing is, like a few years ago, I tried to replay Mystic Messenger just to see, like, wow, what was the happiness that I had as like a child. Slept through every single chat room. I don't know how I was doing that mess as a child. Like, like what?
No, like it was dedication. I remember I would be in the lunchroom, bro, chat room open. I'm there. I'm talking to 707. I'm talking to Jaehee. I'm talking to I'm talking to everybody. Like I was not
Oh,
missing a beat. Like not even during my classes. I was just obsessed with them.
like
Cuz
I was in private school at the time. I could not even use my phone in class. So like I had to like use the hourglasses to do the ones that I would miss while I was in class. Like hell, and that I was lucky because they gave us like so many apology hourglasses at the time. So I was even able to do that mess. Like hell.
no, I was obsessed with I mean, obviously, like I was obsessed with 707 as I stated, but okay, personally, I'm gonna have a controversial take here. We might get doxxed for this, Brittany.
Oh.
Jumin's route scared me, bro. I did not like it. I
Oh
did not
my
like it. I was
god.
scared. I'm sorry, y'all. I think he's cute. I did not like the route.
Here's the thing, right? So my first route was Juman to wait, no, I didn't he wasn't my
No,
first
yours
route.
was Zen,
Yeah,
bro.
my first one was Zen, honestly, but when people ask, I would be like, "Oh yeah, my favorite's Juman." I was lying every time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did lie. I did lie because I was doing it, but to be honest, I try to think back. I don't think my heart was in it the way that I would like try to sell it to people. Because
Oh
I
my
feel like
god.
yeah, I'm sorry. Like I think I was lying because like he was rich, yeah, and he was like kind of awkward and stuff like that. That's fun, but like when he started saying crazy stuff like, "Oh my god, like I'm gonna put you in this little cage or whatever, put microchips in your heels and all that type of stuff." Like teenage me was also kind of like, this is different. Like
Me and Brittany would meme the shit out of the microchip heels. Like in the bad ending for Ju Min, because basically in his route, he kind of like has like low key a mental breakdown, and he was like he wanted to like lock the MC up in this cage. But if you had like this if you got a bad route with him, he was literally like holding you hostage. Like he was like basically like keeping you captive in his home, and and there was this one line he said. He was just like, "I've already installed microchips in your heels, so don't even think about leaving." And me and Brittany thought that was so funny. We would just say it to each other all the
no,
time.
for real, we would be like, "Oh, like dang, I guess he's gonna put microchips in my heels like all the time." Cause like, what was that mess? And the thing is, to be honest, even though I thought that was crazy, um, with the ways I would venture into visual novels, of course, with my history of like looking at stuff before they were localized, um, I was already familiar with being locked in cages. You know, I played these games before, but and it made me think of like a man from like that this one visual novel. It's localized now, like anyone could play it honestly, but like at the time when I was looking into it, that mess was only in Japanese. It was like called like Amnesia, like memories, and it had like this dude who straight up was like a childhood friend or whatever, and his name was like Toma, I believe. Toma. That man, he locked you in a dog cage because he didn't want you to leave. So, you
Oh
know,
wow.
it'd be like that, I guess. You know, I guess he really felt like he had to do that, and I think he had a dog. I wonder how did he get that? Like, I think he had a dog.
I don't even think he had a dog is wild.
Like, I wonder did he buy it especially for the
And just as a disclaimer, we don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Like if that's what you're into, that's fine. it's just you have to understand that we're like 14, 13 years old playing these games and like we're suddenly being locked in cages. Like that's crazy. Like when when Jubin was like, please get in the cage, I was like, sir, like leave me alone. Like I don't want to. And I was so scared to get the bad ending because I heard about the bad ending before I actually played the route because it was popular. Like, let's be
Like,
honest. Like
yeah,
it was
it
all
was
over
everywhere.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I really just don't do that. And so I don't know. I was scared for my life a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thought he was gonna show up at your house for real? Like, oh,
Yes, because okay, what also freaks me out because they also had that one what's you call they had that one bad ending where they just break the fourth wall. I thought, bro, like I thought they were about to show up. Like I was scared.
they're gonna materialize in the real world and get you. But
I wish if 707 materialized in my room, I would be fine with that.
yeah, you would. I know. Cause like even when I think about the routes, like Zen was my first one. He was all right, but like, um, I feel like
Echo
the
girl.
what is it?
Echo girl.
Oh, don't talk about her. Anyways, when I think about it, I feel like Zen's route would be so much better if you could just be poly with him and Jaehee. But you know,
Bro. I think it
cause
would be better if they actually let us like make out with Jaehee.
yeah, I feel like why
What's with this teasing in her route?
yeah, like they were just all like, "Oh, like Jaehee is she likes you and wow, she's like, "Wow, you're like the only person who like treats me the way I want to be treated." And wow, you're so amazing. Wow, I love you. Wait, I mean, I don't, but like
I love you as like a friend. Like
and then y'all move in together in like the good end of her route, you know, she quits her job and stuff like that. Like she be doing junk, but like why aren't y'all
history
like
will
getting
say that they were roommates.
like oh like roommates like this, I guess. Like
That just happened to sleep in the same bed.
exactly. Y'all own like your own little business together, all that. Like to be honest, Teeny really like Jaehee's route. I just wish that like um it was they actually could get together.
No, yeah, because then they even like with like the Valentine's Day events and stuff like that, like you get a cheek kiss, bro. Like that's it.
No, for
Like where's the
real.
good stuff?
Like girl, move over. Like
No, I remember I tried to play again too though when the V and the Seiran, I don't know how to pronounce the name exactly. 707's brothers route came out and I tried to play it because I was interested and I tried to do V's and but also they were like they started taxing on the hourglasses, you know, I didn't
oh
have the
yeah.
safety cushion of the apology hourglasses or anything. So I was just missing chat rooms and I got like a mediocre ending, so I wasn't really happy about that. And I was like, I can't play this again. Like I have a life now. Um and so yeah, it was fine. Beast Riot was fine. It was also like I also have to say like the game is kind of dark. Like cult stuff is going on in that game.
Yeah, like
I
what's
did
going
I
on
tried to
here?
do yeah, I tried to do I guess his like alias was Ray. I tried to do his route, bro. I was already scared. I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm gonna just look it up and see what happens.
Technically had like a little route. Dang.
He did. He got one because people were like, "Please, sir, I really want to romance him." And his route, like, I don't remember exactly. I feel like it just started him off with him locking you in a room. I was like, "What's going on here?" But yeah, but I also really like the I think one of the really cool things about Mystic Messenger that was introduced in like the Otome format, it was the fact that like it was because it was like modern, like you were talking to these people through your phone. Like eventually you would talk to them in person. But the fact that like you could like text them was like fun in its own way too. Cause also like when you think about like Blooming Panic, for instance, I really like the mechanism there too. Cause I was like, oh my god, Mystic Messenger part two. Where I got to like talk to like online friends basically. I thought that was really cool. I was really into that one.
Yeah, like to be perfectly honest, I feel like um a lot of like visual novels or even like just dating sims in general, to be honest, they are inspired by Mystic Messenger, honestly, because like so many have come out with like a chat mechanic afterward, such as like you said, like blooming panic and stuff like that, because I kind of feel like when Mystic Messenger dropped, they high key changed the game for real,
Mhm.
for like so many people. Cause like
Mhm.
I think there's like this one that I kind of like right now that I kind of ran into on like itch.io. I think it's called Cupid's chat room or something like that. That one was cute. Then I kind of feel like there's some offshoots of it, like some random ones that I ran into in like game jams or something like that. But like for sure, like the whole chat room thing, that was great. Like honestly, I think Mystic Messenger, they were the first ones to do it, and they definitely won't be the last. That's one thing. So like,
No,
so,
for real. Cause like even cause like some of them have like the premise that like blooming panic where it's like, oh, like you join like a server or whatever. So like that is like the main thing about it. But now like you definitely see like with other Otome games, you can at least like text like your love interest and you could do other stuff like that.
yeah,
Um,
like
which is
open
fun.
open itch.io right now. You'll see about 20. Trust me.
Trust me, bro. Like I know this.
Yeah. But also on top of that, when it comes to like yeah, high key, this thinking about like some of like these old ones and stuff like that, can I also mention one dating sim that was never localized that to this day I mourn like a wife mourns her
Speak your
husband.
truth. Speak your truth, because I know exactly where you're going with this.
All right, y'all. When I was in my era of like I gotta read these routes and stuff like that, there's one dating sim that if right now they make an announcement and they say, "Hey, um, this dating sim, it's gonna finally be localized for the West, so all you English speakers can finally play this game." I will drop everything. I'll play it. If my card is going to go ahead and decline or whatever like that, if I'm going to get an overdraft, it's worth it because like I have to play this game. Glass Heart Princess. I don't know. I don't remember what year that game came out, but trust me, listen, y'all. You play as like this chick. She got like some kind of heart condition where I don't know, like if she has like strong like emotion, like romantic emotions, I think she'll just like die or whatever. I guess that's normal. That happens to everybody. It happened to my friend Tim, honestly. But and how it would work is like you would have routes with like different dudes or something like that. Some of it's like just random stuff, like you got like your little childhood friend or whatever. You got like your this dude who's kind of like your butler even though he's like the same age as you basically. um they would have like that weird route of like someone who is young for some reason that I choose to ignore. Like and but they would do crazy stuff because like randomly one of your love interests would be like a vampire or something, and one of your love interests is literally like an alien. Listen, a vampire route. Okay, y'all. So literally the vampire route. This dude, he was like a nurse, and the MC was like be talking. He had like this really deep voice, and I knew who I was at a young age. So I was like, "That's my man" immediately, even though I wasn't even playing. I wasn't playing it, but that game, the art, phenomenal. The little story, maybe I have rose tinted glasses right now, and if I play it, I'm probably gonna be like, "This mess is hot dog water." But listen, y'all, I thought that mess was gas. It was gas, y'all. Like this game, like y'all please.
Someone please localize this game for Britney, bro. She's like begging. She's on her knees right now. Like she really wants to play this game. She hyped this game up so much when we were younger. I thought it was gonna be localized tomorrow. Like I was ready to play it.
Like I thought that game, like I used to look up all the CGs. It was so like I thought this was so dramatic. Oh my god. And the thing is, I know a few years ago, very surprisingly in Japan, they got like a little updated version of the game. Localize the updated version. Just do it. Like y'all, you still have the game. It's still, I think the studio is still up and running. Y'all, please. If y'all need the money, I will help. I will
Oh
help
my
if
god.
y'all need the money. I think I can do something. I like my goodness. Oh,
This is how I felt when I realized that they didn't adapt the last like novel version of Red Data Girl. That's how I feel.
oh my god. But like that's a pain that like I that's a pain that I feel like no one should go through. I'm sorry.
No, no, I understand. I understand. I sympathize with you because I
Thank
know
you.
how that feels when you know, like it's right there. Like y'all, are we ever? Which Brook? Do you hear?
Like,
Which Brook, please?
in their time, they're still alive. Okay?
They're
Like,
still here. We're waiting. We're waiting on you, Witch Brook.
I,
Witch Brook, I signed up for the newsletter. You said it was gonna be monthly. Where is my newsletter?
saw that.
Which book do you? Which book developers do you hear me? Hear my pleas.
You know what? I get what they're saying. Like they don't want to do nothing for everyone to get excited. They're like, y'all, we need about 3 more years.
For those of you who don't know, Witch Brook is an indie game that is gonna release by the time I'm 40, hopefully, and I still can play it. Basically, it's this game, this indie game. Me and Brittany want to play so bad, but they are a no crunch studio. We respect your time and efforts for this game, but I want to play it so bad.
Can you like drop like a screenshot to me? Because I know I'll be a good like just drop like a little screenshot. I'll
I will not leak it, I promise.
like our email is gonna be in the description, so I'm just letting y'all know.
We drop in the socials. We're gonna have our email. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Again, I signed up for that newsletter.
Hey,
Um,
or the you could show us the romance options. That's something
like
anything.
I will pay money. I will subscribe if I have to a monthly subscription.
Yeah, I'll look at it and then I'll act like I didn't. So it'll just be like me and Ariana, and then the all y'all. So like,
Anyways, y'all. So Otome Games, am I right? But you know, this episode is kind of a two-parter because I know some of you are probably like, what about this game? What about that one? We've mostly talked about older ones that we played in the past, but we're gonna talk about some more modern ones. You know, there's just a couple that are deserving of their own episode. But yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like for example, Love in Deep Space. Uh, and also the goat, Our Life.
Our life, we love you, our life. We also love you too, love in deep space.
Yeah,
But
Our Life.
I
I
have that's its own episode.
Yeah.
Those are its own episodes, I should say. So much to talk about for those ones.
Shout out to GB Patch. Thank you for putting our life into this world. I thank you for being born. I thank God for you. Um,
Infold, I would say all that for you, but I have beef with you right now because you need to drop more Silas content. So you know what? I just thank you for creating him, but get on that.
yeah, that's real though. But dang, that's that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
Um,
like, tune in for the next episode, I guess.
well, y'all, we'll see you next time in part two of this conversation. I'm gonna do a flip and
Oh, she
see.
just did it. She just did it. I
Yep,
saw it.
yep. Well,
All right. Bye.
I